Hey everybody, Shabo from Shabo Outdoors again. I was just watching a video from one of the people I'm subscribed to and everything, and they was doing a podcast about family, preparedness and stuff like that. Well, it kind of got me to thinking because he touched on. Sorry about the chair. He touched on something that brought up a memory for me back when I was in school. He said, when he was in school, he said there was nothing for, you go out to the trucks, dang near every truck in the parking lot, had a gun in it during the season and stuff. Well, that was the little school that I was from. Hunting season, I don't care if it was deer, duck, goose, squirrel, it didn't matter. If it was some kind of hunting season, there was a weapon in the truck. Okay. And the same was for, fishing season too, when, because I'm originally from Arkansas, so it was pretty much fishing season all the time, but, there was always rod and reels or guns or both in our vehicles. Anyway, the story that it brought me up, I'm sorry about that, I digress. The story that reminded me of, there was a little town about 18, 20 miles from us that one time this guy was running from the law, and he had went to the high school in this other town, and they said his plan was to grab a kid from the school so he could use them as a hostage and everything, and to get the cops to leave him alone. Sorry about that. Granted, not a very good plan, but anyway, the sheriff had called our principal and told him, for us, for the faculty and everything, to be on the lookout for this nutball in his car and blah 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 blah. Well, the principal, he called an assembly, for all of us. We all met out in the gym, and he told us, what was going on, hurriedly and all. And the next words out of his mouth was, "Okay, boys, y'all go to the vehicle, y'all go to y'all's trucks and grab your guns." The bleachers empty. Everybody, had a gun. The teachers carried guns because they were big hunters too. We all went out, we got our guns and everything, and we met in front of the school, because to get to our grade school, there was two ways to get to it, but one of them you had to go all the way, by the high school to get to it. The next one was another little road that came in from the backside. Well, there was a couple of the seniors got in their trucks, went down and blocked the roads at the grade school, so nobody could come from that direction. And then a couple more of us got in our trucks and blocked the roads going to the grade school from the high school side. And I don't know, it might have been 10, 15 minutes. The sheriff, he shows up, he pulls into the parking lot. He was from the same little community that the school was in. And he pulls in, and of course, he had his lights and sirens and stuff going. And the principal walks up out there, and he kind of looks around, and there stands like 40 students, standing there with shotguns, rifles, pistols, just a little bit of everything, knives. And his name was Doyle. Doyle, he looked around and he goes, well, he said, if the feller shows up here, said, I think he's going to wish he had, kept going. And the principal said, well, I figured this here would be the quick, the easiest way to make sure, everybody stayed safe, the smaller kids, because he was wanting a small kid. For all the kids in grade school, to be safe, I figured, because all of us had, hunter's ed, and God, all of us had been hunting since we had been in grade school. So, but yeah, that luckily they caught him at the county line, which was about 4 miles from school. But they did catch him. No big incidences or anything like that. But times have changed, and I'm not so sure that it's the times that have changed. I think it's the people that have changed more than the times. Back then, we were all young and dumb and stupid kids, but we were raised with morals. We were raised with common sense. We were raised with hard work. During the summertime, we didn't lay up and play video games or lay in the house on the couch and watch cartoons. Me, by the time I was 12 years old, I was hauling hay from daylight to dark. I wasn't able to, pick the big, some of the bigger heavy bells up. But I was still out there working right along beside my brother and, his friends and everything. I was doing my part. And a lot of 99% of the people that went to my school was the same way. They had either hauling hay, hauling billets, working in the logwoods. Everybody worked. And that's one thing that don't happen now. Kids don't work. There's a small fraction of them that do, but most kids don't work. So I just wanted to share that little story with you. It's nothing important. But anyway, until I see y'all next time, remember, Shabo loves you, and God bless. Be careful.